All right, good afternoon. Just got back from Lowe's. Had to go buy some more wire, some more cable stuff, some more wire box connections. Bought some more boxes. We were out of light bulbs, so. All right, so today I'm going to build the appliance wall platform. Get all those refrigerator, the furnace, the hot water tank, and the stove. Get those all mocked up and get the water lines stubbed out for the hot water tank, and see how far I get. I got about 6 or 7 hours of daylight here. I am starting pretty late in the afternoon. I went to my doc's appointment early, so I don't have to stop at 2 o'clock. Anyway, let me get all this stuff off this side of the world, and I'll be back. Okay, I've got that side of the trailer all cleaned up, and I've got my furnace here. Furnace. Okay, which goes right there. And I've got my electric heat plenum, which when I pull them out of the box and get them set it in place, then I'll show you a little more detail. But that's my plenum for my electric heat. And this is a tankless hot water heater, okay? And that goes over there where the hot and cold pipes are, which is underneath the stove. And the furnace is on the left, and it goes underneath the refrigerator, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my furnace in place, my hot water tank, and I've got a couple of things I have to consider and remember. One is this beam right here. I'm trying to get down as low as I can so you can kind of see. You see that beam right there? Now to the top of that beam is 7.5 inches. So as we go down that way, you'll see that my floor is 5.5 inches, so I've got to come up at least 2 inches, okay? But I'm probably going to come up more like 4 or 5 inches, because I've got to put an elbow on that hot and cold water and bring them out this way. So I'll be building a platform that raises up at a minimum 2 inches, okay? Because if you look at my, actually I lied to you. If you look at my my rule right there, I'm at 6.5, and I need to be at 7.5. So that beam that's right there is 1 inch taller, but because of where I put the hot and cold supply lines, I've got to raise it up a little bit so I can put a 90-degree elbow and bring those water lines out and then back up again. So no big deal. I can handle it. All right, so let me get to work on this, and I'll show you my progress when I unbox these and set them in place. And I'll be doing the same thing I did over there, and then I'll explain what those 3 pieces of wood are for. All right, I'll be back. Okay, I've got my hot water tank, and I've got my furnace mocked up where I want them. And Now what I'm getting ready to do is essentially box them in, but not really. I'm going to build a platform across the top of them, which will allow me to rest my refrigerator here, and the stove will rest here. Okay, and so I have to build a pretty sturdy platform, and I won't need to move my water pipes, which is good, and I don't need to do anything with my gas pipe. My gas, see the blue cap right there? It's all good. Okay. Now, where the furnace is, probably going to move it over, that way, about an inch, no big deal. But remember, in the floor right here is where my heat distribution system is, or my plenum. Okay, it's in that cavity. So you see that line right there, and you see that, well, you can't see that line. Yeah, well, there it is, but you see the screws. All right, so this unit right here, you slow it down. You see that opening right there, right here, goes down into the floor and into the plenum. Okay, so I can catch that plenum anywhere, like right there. Okay, so let's assume for a moment that that's where that's going to go. Okay, let's move it over about an inch, and we'll move that over. Okay, so let's say it's right there. Okay, no big deal. All right. Let's see, if I line it up, right there's my stud in the floor and then my plenum. Okay, so that will send the heat down into the plenum, which will come out here, there, over there, and in my utility room. Okay, that'll distribute the heat throughout the system. So obviously it's a little lower than the unit itself. So I'll go to my local air conditioner shop and have them make me whatever I'll need to connect that unit to the front of my furnace here. Okay, this cover right here will come off and it won't be used, and this right here gets attached to it. So since I'm a little bit further away, they'll just make me steel, I don't know, I guess a coupler, if you will, or an extension to extend this out. Now, could I just pull the unit away from the wall, and bring it closer to it? No. You see that right there? That's got to go through the side of the trailer. Okay, right out the side of the trailer. So you see its thickness is just about where you need to be. Okay, and then that gets bolted. That's your fresh air intake and your exhaust. Okay, now of course the exhaust is at the top and the fresh is at the bottom. It'll pull fresh air in. Okay, now you see that slot right there? That's where the electric heat unit slides in, and it can be installed from this end or the other end. I'm probably going to install it on this end because I'm going to have a door here. Well, I say a door, but a cabinet door that I can open up so I can access, this unit right here and be able to just slide that unit out. It slides in. It slides in. Okay, the unit does, right in front of the air. This is electric heat, mind you, and when the air from the blower from the propane furnace hits it, heats the air up and blows it wherever it needs to go. So not only will there be an access door here, but that door will have a vent in it so that it can suck in fresh air and this sort of thing. So you know, it's kind of functional. It's not just a door for access, but it'll also allow some fresh air underneath the you know, the water tank, and a water heater. It's not a tank, water heater, and the furnace. Okay. All right. And here's my water. Let me do it. I have no idea. Oh. Okay. I just moved it over a little bit, give them a little bit of space in between. Okay, so that's my tankless hot water heater, and that also vents out the side of the RV. Okay, now let me kind of lift it up and so you can kind of see. You see where all the controls are and everything. There's the board, the gas and everything. There'll be an access panel on the outside. Okay, there'll actually be a door out there that can be open, set aside, and you can work on it. Now the connections for this cannot be any simpler. Okay, this is your hot, this is your cold, these are your power wires. Okay, now keep in mind this is a 12-volt unit. So it runs off of batteries, or it'll run off the 110 if we're plugged in, because it'll be converted down to 12 volts. And right here's where you hook in your gas. Okay, so since this unit has a gas connection, this unit has a gas connection, the stove will have a gas connection, and the refrigerator has a gas connection. So we're going to have plenty of room down here to mount us a real nice, manifold that will control all of these different devices. Okay. When I say control it, distribute it. Okay. All right. All right. Let me build this platform, and I'll be back. And by the way, I've decided, you know, I had to make a choice, had to make a decision. And if you see my numbers on this thing, remember 10 is what I needed. Let's see if I can't move this out of there. Remember 10 is what I needed, but I've decided to go up to 11 and a half. Okay. 11 and a half being right. Shit. Frickin' board is in the way. Anyway, 11 and a half is right there. Okay, so that gives me plenty of clearance. Just to refresh, just to remind, I need 9. Looks like about 9 and 9.5 is what I need, but I just want to give myself some extra room to work with. Okay. Now remember, when all this stuff gets set and ready to go, then coming out the side of the trailer, I'll be coming out the side of the trailer will be the furnace propane furnace. Okay, exhaust. It'll be that silver plate that you saw. Okay, then next to it will be the hot water tank, which will have about a 12 by 12 by 12 access panel. Okay, and then back over here, here's the furnace. Right above the furnace will be the refrigerator, and there will be a big 21-inch wide access panel there. Okay. There'll also be an exhaust system up top. Okay. Now the stove The stove doesn't have any vents or anything like that. However, the over the stove blower fan will have an exhaust. So I'll be cutting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 holes in the side, and that'll be cool. All right, let me build this platform and I'll be back. Oh. One more thing, I wanted to show you my air conditioning. Got my air conditioner. Shit, I got my air conditioner running. Nah, just kidding. I just got a fan in here. It's a pretty hot day, but I'll tell you, I'm in the trailer, and the trailer feels pretty good. It feels cool. It's, you know, of course it's spray foam, and I'm sitting right in the sun. Okay? And it's a hot son of a bitch today. There happens to be a palm tree right in the way, but there you go. I mean, that trailer is baking in the sun right now, and it's actually more comfortable in the trailer than it is outside. So, all right, I'll be back. Let me build this platform. Okay. I had to knock off early in that. I just sort of kind of ran out of steam. I'm just cleaning up now. I ran back to Lowe's to get some prime boards, and I said prime boards, I should have said. I got this cable earlier. I'm just going to put this here in the garage. Something like the refrigerator cabinet, which is what I'm in the stove area, which is what I'm building now. It just requires requires my brain to not be tired, and my brain's tired. So I've got it all laid out. I've got a few pieces cut, and of course that bottom part there is a platform, and that gets raised up about when I put the plywood across that, the furnace and the hot water tank will sit on that, and then above that will be another platform, and then I'll build my refrigerator, I'll call it a case or refrigerator compartment, and then of course the stove will just, once that platform is built, we'll just slide right in, and you're done. Put the hood in and put whatever cabinet you're going to put up there. So, you know, that's something I'm going to start early in the morning, just because it's going to take me, you know, my brain working at 100%. I went to Lowe's and bought some, you know, some prime boards, so I can, because most of that gets skirted out at the bottom, and then I'm going to make that door on the side there that flaps up. Now, what else? What else did I do today? It wasn't a leak in the shower stem. It was when I put it in, I just kind of started it, turned it, but never put any tighten on it. So it was tight enough where it was just a little drip. So I fixed that, and yeah, so that's that. I can't think of anything else other than I can't wait to get back to working in my utility room and get those start working with the electronic stuff again. I love this part. This is my favorite part right there. You know, building cabinets and everything is fun. and I'll be glad when they're done. They'll look good. But this is the kind of stuff that just I love. I just before I left for Lowe's, I turned the water off, but I had full pressure all day long till I left. I saw a bug. Thought I saw a bug. All right. Truck's locked up. Push the button. Okay, well, you guys know that our first trip is March 17th, so I think today's the 19th, so I got 28 days, so I mean, it'll be livable. You know, we'll have a refrigerator, we'll have stove, we'll have running water, we'll have sink, we'll have countertops. I may not be finished with all of the, you know, all of the wiring as far as, well, I probably will, but who knows. If I do, great. If not, try to have the floor down, because we're going to be bringing the puppies with us and the kitty. Well, maybe not the kitty, but we'll figure it out. So I'd like to have at least the floor down, at least in the main part of it. Got everything put away. Put my keys back. I think I put the car keys in the house. All right. Yeah, it'll be nice to get my garage back, or at least be able to put something else in there. I'm pretty full. I've been going through my plywood scraps and using quite a bit of that. And I'm chomping at the bit to get my windmill set up. Oh boy, you can't imagine. All right, you all have a good night, and like the video if you like it. Subscribe to the channel if you want, and comments are always welcome. Questions are always welcome. All right, have a good night.